Hey, welcome to the Closing Beat, everybody. Happy Friday. It is Friday. We're here. We got this done. I hope you had a great week. Welcome to the Closing Beat. This is a quick stock market update show that we do to cover the stock market, tell you how things are going. So we'll go through everything for you, and then I'll take some of your questions. We'll see what we can do there. Also, last night we did our Wine and Wealth class. It is open to the public. So if you want to go on our YouTube channel, you can actually see what it's like to be a part of the Wine and Wealth class, things that we teach, things that we update our customers on. You're welcome to check that out if you didn't get a chance to join us live overall. Also, want to mention real quick, although you can't schedule calls until the week after, there's a new feature in the dojo, which is our private library that we're building out for customers. Top right-hand corner, you'll be able to schedule a call if you're one of our customers and you just want to talk and something comes up. As part of the integrations and stuff that we're doing. I shared some of that last night so you could see kind of what we're building out, but that should be live the next time you log into the dojo. If you happen to do that, you'll just know there's no calls that you can schedule next week. It actually starts after that, but we got excited and we put it up, so there you go. Anyways, let's talk about the stock markets here today. You got the Dow is the only index positive on the day for the week. Every index actually finished positive. We'll go through that. Senate is in recess until September 8th, something like that, at least September 8th, I believe. So you've got unemployment claims cut. You've got evictions possible right now. They're just bickering in Washington, so that could weigh on the markets going forward. Right now, the markets seem pretty disconnected from what's going on there, what the possibilities are, and the government and everything kind of not getting along. What are you going to do, right? So that's what you got going on there. Let's take a look at the stock markets here. We'll go over to the charts. You have, there you go, the Nasdaq showing more weakness here today, not able to get anything started. That's going to be because of your big stocks there, your Apples of the world, your Amazons of the world, unable to get everything going. Just couldn't seem to get, just like the charts, can't seem to get anything going there. But that's what you have. You got Apple unable to really get moving. There's some issues there. We'll talk about that here in just a second. If we take a look over at Amazon, if that'll ever come up, just troubles there. Not really an exciting week for tech overall. If you're in those big tech names, big cap tech names, just not much going on there overall. Google, Microsoft as well. Those are all index movers, at least Nasdaq movers, and they were just sleepy, right? They just called it quits for the week there. So the Nasdaq unable to get anything going there in general. If we take a look over at the Dow was the winner for the week as far as performance goes. It was up 1.81%, and today it was the positive index, as you can see, largely because you have something interesting this week. You got Boeing with its recovery, it continuing to try to recover off of those lows ever so slowly, but that was one of the reasons that you had help in the Dow here today. And I'll point out United Healthcare hitting new high, almost hitting new highs, 0.68% higher on the day. And so that's what you got. That's why the Dow was higher. If we take a look over at the S&P, you got no new highs just yet. It's flirting with that. Like we said yesterday, that'll be counted as resistance in the short term until something gets done there. It'd be nice if over the weekend we could find that the government's come to some deal. They're all of a sudden going to work together. Don't hold your breath, but it's just kind of, that would help for sure. Volume today was only about 3/4 of the average over the last 10 days. So a little bit light. People just content to go ahead and take the day off and maybe call it an early weekend. So that's what you had there. FinTips videos you could see on our YouTube channel. You can sort by playlist actually and go look at FinTips. Those are our short, quick financial and investing tips that we do to just try to teach you something new, get out of the way, let you live your life and everything. Like I said, Wine and Wealth is open for all. If you want to look at last night's class, that's available for you. And after this, I'll be recording a video for our research site. And we're going to actually start to try to cover what the market is thinking relative to the elections, but be able to quantify that. So you can look at the markets and say, I don't really care, but what's really going on under the surface, I'll try to highlight that for you in the research site. If you're not a research member, I hope you check that out. jazzwealth.com/research helps us out greatly. It's $13 a month. We're not asking to make millions off you, just something to help you learn how to research markets, research stocks. Lots of great stuff in there if you're willing to check that out. All right, let's go over to the sector breakdown here today and see what is going on. You had basically a wash in terms of sectors. 5 sectors up, 6 sectors down. So let's take a look. You got industrials. One of the sectors that was up today was the fact it was one of the leaders. Overall, I'm going to try something just a little different, probably a mistake. Industrials came in 3rd place in terms of the performance for the day, actually up 3.6% there for the week. So had a great week. It's going to be largely, no, it's over here. Let's see what I get. Boeing, there you go. It's going to be one of the reasons that you got industrials higher today. You also had the rails in the mix there. If we take a look at Union Pacific, that one did really well, almost hitting new highs. And then you got UPS, just a beast. UPS just killing it, doing really, really well there. I want to point out the airlines in the mix as well. Slight up day overall, nothing really to get excited about just yet, but they stood out in the industrials as one of the reasons why that sector moved higher. If you look at the communication services stock or sector, just kind of flat, and kind of flat for the week, by the way. If you look at that, you had Facebook, just kind of an off week. Not a whole lot going on there. Google, Disney, T-Mobile, TMUS is a ticker symbol. All of these stocks are looking the same, just kind of like flat. Not anything exciting. We could almost skip it. You know what I mean? We will. Tech stocks, a little bit lower on the day as well. Sort of a flat day overall for that one. Tech actually was third from the last in terms of sector performers here today. That's just going to be because of the Microsofts, the Apples, everything that we've already talked about. Took the week off. You got Visa also just kind of not doing anything. MasterCard not doing a whole lot of anything. PayPal in the mix there if you're looking at FinTech. Just sloshing around back and forth for the week, and so that's kind of quiet there. None of them really saw any amazing moves. Speaking of Apple, getting more criticism out there for the iPhone, or the ability to post apps in the App Store and the revenue that they take from the purchases, not just the app there. Got some criticism for Facebook, from Facebook today for their new meeting thing that they're launching there as well. You got Fortnite suing them there. You've got now Match Group, Spotify, Microsoft. They have all chimed in and said, it's ridiculous, guys, figure it out. So Apple didn't actually make any comments today. They were rather quiet. Anyways, utilities, week on the day and week on the week, down 2% overall for the week, now down 5% for the year. Was kind of a dead sector right now. It's still a good stock picking sector, but kind of dead overall. Just the last couple weeks hasn't really been able to amount to anything that would cause you to say, I got to go put money over there. I got to get excited about this sector. The strong utilities continue to be strong, by the way. Real estate was a good day, although it was 0.25% relative to everything else. Kind of a good day overall. Over the last 5 days, you got a 1.5% loss, just a slight down day overall. You got Simon Property Group in the mix. That was kind of bucking the trend there. Up 3.25%. Had a good week in terms of news. Had a good week in terms of performance overall. Basically, it was any REIT that was not that's not super highly levered. So things like Public Storage, Prologis in the mix as well. They all had decent weeks overall. Anything not highly levered. Highly levered would be things like nope. Not Duke, DRE is the symbol we're looking at, Duke Realty. Those stocks weak on the week and as well as weak on the day. Equinix, also highly levered companies here. Those seem to be what investors want to stay away from in the real estate space today. So just thought I'd bring that to your attention. What else can we look at here in terms of sectors overall? What happened on the day? Oh, we could do that. Let's go over to gold. They're not a sector, but, you know, gold. You got gold down just slightly on the day. Very volatile week for gold overall. You expect more of that to continue next week. Oil down just slightly on the day as well. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you can look at oil explorer stocks. They took a little bit of a move higher today, up 2%, one of the better performing industries overall. And regional banks, they stick out here on a final scan as one of the better performers. This uptrend here continuing, so we'll extend this line. That is what every technical investor is following at the moment. Looking pretty good there. Do want to point out real quick, bonds. No. There, yeah, TLT bond. These are the long-term treasuries, right? So this is going to be 20-year plus out there, down 4% for the week as rates continue to move higher. 4% doesn't sound like a big deal if we're talking about an Apple or a Microsoft or something like that, maybe Tesla, but it's a big deal when rates are already basically nothing. So a 4% move, a rather huge move in bonds this week if you happen to be paying attention over there or happen to see those in your 401ks, things like that. Let's go over to notable new highs for the day. You had a total of 15 new highs on the day. Couple interesting ones that stick out. They're all going to be really extended, right? So you got News Corp. No matter how you look at this one, News Corp stands out as one of the more extended ones out there. Whirlpool has been just incredibly strong. Also starting to get a little extended. That kind of bugs you overall. If you're looking at things like Best Buy, obviously a great day, new 52-week highs, but getting extended. It's got to be traders thinking in that profit-taking mode rather than starting a new position mode would be what I would be thinking. Target, also very extended, although it was up 1.2% on the day. And FedEx, just with the monster move it's had. FedEx, UPS, just done really, really well. We happen to own them. We're excited about it. They're overextended in the short term. You want to see those things maybe pull back just a little bit there. By the way, on that list that you see on your screen, Target is the only one that is not, although it's close, is not up more than 20% from the 200-day moving average. Every other stock on that list is above 20% from its 200-day moving average. That will get some attention there overall if it happens to be something you're paying attention to. All right, let's take a look at the watch list here. We'll see what we can do in terms of this today. Kind of a busy day, busy week for the watch list. Went really in detail. If you happen to be watching the closing beat and you like this section of the show, it was a good week for that. I really kind of went over the top in terms of things that we focused on. So what we're going to do today is we're going to assume that you think the stock market's going to fall to some degree, even just a little bit. What stocks do you look at? So today what we're looking at is stocks that are basing or showing some sort of series of lows after already being weak. So we're looking for a real weak list here, and I'm going to move on to that first one so I can explain. So here's a stock that seems to be hovering near recent lows. You could draw a simple line, see that there. It's not participating in any real up move in the market there, Citrix. And so you would assume that with weakness in the market, weakness in this sector, that you would see Citrix start to head back towards the 200-day. These would be for you short traders or people that are waiting for stocks to sort of fall off so you can find some reason to buy them. So that would be the first one. You can kind of see what I'm picking on here as I talk about this. Eli Lilly, series of lows here, not participating, just hinting at flirting at a pullback there, breaking a uptrend, by the way, if that does happen. So that's what we're looking for there. You've got Boston Properties, same thing in the REIT space, highly levered. And you've got a recipe for a stock that's just not playing along. It's not playing along with the market. It's not playing along with the sectors. Look at that. Just hinting that it wants to break down. We'll follow through with some of these. UDR, same picture, right? Stocks that are hovering near some kind of low, series of lows there, and hinting at maybe breaking out there. We'll talk about Edison. There you go. Same thing. A little less volatile. This stock's not, I'm not Edison. Did the wrong one. There it is, Edison. A little bit less volatile stock here, but trying to break through lows and even trying to do that a little bit here today. So you've got that weakness for those, if you're looking to build a watch list of stocks that's looking kind of weak on the day overall. AIG, same thing, a little bit more room to go until it breaks, but I was trying to just give you a series of symbols that all kind of look the same so you get what I'm talking about here. And HPE, not even participating, man. It's got a series of lows down here. You kind of feel like that one's trying to break down. Weakness overall, relative weakness to the markets, the sectors, etc. So today's watch list was based on finding weakness. How do you do that, right? You could either look for extended stocks or you could look for weak stocks that are basing near some series of lows that you expect may break down. So I hope that helps you there for our watch list there for the day. All right, let's move on over to stocks in the news, and then I'll take your questions overall. So stocks in the news today. You're going to have semiconductor, Applied Materials. Had a good day today, broke to new 52-week highs. That's going to be because of earnings. They beat on earnings by 11 cents, and they raised guidance. Remember, all earnings season we've been talking about stocks that are raising guidance. That's what everybody's focused on, and if you do that, you're likely going to see a nice pop on the day. They did that, up 4% on the day. That certainly helped out where are we at here? Certainly helped out the semiconductors. You could use the SMH to check that out. Other stocks in that space were quite weak on the day, but AMAT did its part. Looking at Baidu, there you go. Got a little bit of a beat down for Baidu. This is going to be earnings related as well, mostly. Back down to the 200-day moving average, lost 6% on the day. Baidu reports earnings that were better than expected. Guidance was basically flat. They had nothing really good to say going forward. If you look at a company called IQYI, that's how you would say that in Chinese there. It's like a Netflix, ticker symbol's IQ, by the way. That was one of the bigger Chinese stocks that lost on the day due to an SEC investigation about some of their acquisitions, so that did not help any of the Chinese stocks today. Novavax, been a volatile one here lately. That one is well moving high. Today it was higher by 10%. They reached a deal with the UK to produce 60 million doses of the COVID vaccine, and so there you go, benefiting by about a 10% move higher on the day. If we look over here at DraftKings, they were down by about 6% on the day. Great beat on revenue overall. The problem is $161 million in losses because of, they like to say, lack of sports inventory. Simple as that, right? There's not a lot out there if people start betting on and things like that. Also, there was a note that came out from the IRS that said, hey, entry fees into fantasy sports are technically taxable, so we're going to expect you guys to pay taxes on that. That's going to affect their margins overall, and investors did respond to that, down 6% on the day. Lastly, we got Tesla. Wouldn't be right if we didn't talk about Tesla. So you got a gain of about 2% on the day. Remember, they've got a split coming up here soon towards the end of the month. You got about 14 days, or give or take, before things happen there. There was a report that they are working on a new model for production in China. So investors responding to that news here today with about a 2% gain on the day. As far as earnings next week, you got Anthem. No. Anthem. There you go. So Anthem's expected to report earnings. You got JD.com, JK Solar, and Sina. So sticking with some of the Chinese names going into next week. That'll be interesting because of what's going on with the whole thing there, getting tight on China again. We'll see what happens. Trade talks have been postponed, but because of scheduling conflicts, so it's not that they're fighting or anything yet. All right, as far as dividends next week, you got Philips 66, 90 cents, WellCare 61 cents, Jack in the Box 40 cents, although they're not doing too well. You got them reporting dividends, sorry, is what's coming up there. And I think we're going to try it again. I will go over here and try to take your questions. Let's see what we can do. If I can find anything that's helpful, I'll do what I can do while we're waiting for that. I will hit the like button. I do appreciate that. That's pretty cool there. But I know there's a little bit of a delay, but I'll see what I can do to help with some questions you have there. What's the best ETF for growth? That's a really tough one to answer. Lately, you'd have to say anything tech or Nasdaq related, so like the Qs. You might look at the XLK. You might look at the Innovation Fund, the ARK Innovation Fund. So that's just kind of where the flavor of the month is right now, or flavor of the year, I should say. Could easily change over to healthcare and things like that. So there's not really any way to say like one specific ETF is just going to dominate, something like that. So hope that helps you there. We'll see what happens. What are your thoughts on purple? You got the mattress company there. So down 11% on the day. 11% pullback today. Can this return to highs even in the short term? Not likely you're going to see it go back to highs in the short term. It's kind of like it's been punched in the face. Right? I use that analogy a lot. When a stock hits highs, gets too extended like this one did, I'll go over to the charts. You can see how extended it got. They got earnings that came out and everything. They're looking, they haven't had supply issues, so they're looking for new suppliers, things like that. And look, you're going to take a bit of a punch in the short term. You don't often walk away from getting punched in the face pretty hard like that. So that would be what I would say about that one, and hope that helps. How long do bear markets last? We're not technically in a bear market, number one. We are in a new bull market. But we actually did classes on this in the past to show every single bear market, how long it lasted, when it started, when it finished, how long the average was, medians, things like that. I typically focus on those types of classes when the market's going higher and higher and higher. So expect to see more of those coming up soon. How do you feel about payroll tax deferment? Yeah, deferment's a good word. It's not payroll tax cut or forgiveness or anything like that. It's deferment, right? And so that is going to come due, kind of like a lot of the loans they're giving out that you don't have to pay back for a year. Those are going to come due, so things better be really good in the future. I personally wouldn't participate just because why not? Why? Like how does that help unless you're really, really strapped for cash still and can't find a job anywhere? I don't like it. It doesn't make sense. I like a cut, right? If you want to give us, just say cut it for the rest of the year and we'll just start fresh next year. I love that. I love it. You'd like another round of the Walmart versus Target geeky comparison like I did a month or so ago. There's a lot of them we could do, actually, just to compare progress and things like that between the two. I like it. Yeah. I'm always watching to see what kind of topics would be interested to talk about there. I like it. Why don't you cover penny stocks? Why? Penny stocks are largely a gamble. Not that they could be a bad gamble. I mean, it could be a well-timed sort of thing like that. Penny stocks are too manipulatable. I can't think of the word. Too easy to manipulate overall. And a lot of times, so without making a long story out of it, a lot of these low-cost penny stocks, they pay marketing companies in the form of shares to get exposure. And when that happens and they get exposure and the stock starts going higher, that marketing company starts selling shares. So you got to be real quick on those, and we don't really focus on those, and probably never will. You like the new layout with the questions? Thanks, David. Appreciate that. Yeah, having fun with it. Notice none of you guys like to use periods, by the way, but that's okay. Sometimes I don't either. That's cool. We'll take a couple more and then we'll wrap it up. If there happens to be any questions there, we'll do that and go from there. Is it time to save or buy stocks? I think your question is it time to save your money in like a bank account or something, or is it time to buy stocks? you got to kind of look at where you're at. I don't know what you mean. Short term, long term. I'm not sure what the focus is there. If you're trading, then it's always an environment to trade. If you're investing for the long term and your savings is lacking a little bit because we went through the virus and you had to use some of it because it was an emergency, then I could certainly understand you saying, look, I'm going to hold off on investing for now. I'm going to go ahead and try to save up some money. Now, if the markets fall, I'd probably tip that in the other way and say, if I'm getting a discount, I'm going to go ahead and invest some money versus savings, provided that you have savings and things like that. Yeah. Get out and fish. You deserve a break. I like it. Avoid the hurricanes. Go fishing. You just bought into Simon Property Group. Need that deal with Amazon so this thing can take off. Yeah. One of many things you could probably use there. I don't blame you. Well, hey, I'll wrap it up there. I do appreciate you hanging out with me here today and learning about the markets. I hope you'll keep us in mind. jazzwealth.com. You know where to go. I wear the same shirt every day. And hope you have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week and enjoy your weekend.